What's up? What's up, yo? Yo, um, I'm gonna give a couple of minutes for y'all to just slowly kind of scroll in here. Um, I know this stream was not planned. I didn't announce it. I've been y'all look. You guys have been asking me, Hammer, where you at? We haven't been seeing you. I know. I'm really busy with a lot of stuff. It's getting to a point where whenever I think about uploading something, making a video, something comes up, right? I literally had like videos already lined up and set for me to like do, but I just can't find the time. I'm that busy. I'm willing on something now. Hopefully, the goal is that when the summer comes, I'll have more free time and I'll be able to really do more and more content. So I'm still here. In case people have been asking, I haven't been on here for a while. I'm still here though. And shout out to Kazo, shout out to folks who've been staying with me, loyal with me. But I wasn't supposed to go live today, but I just had to. Okay, I had to do it. I had to do it. I kind of squeezed some time in to do it because this Just Pearly Things controversy that's blowing up all across YouTube, especially the black space. It's almost like the ultimate vindication. It really is. And the reaction I'm seeing, not just from, let's say, Fantastic, the reaction I'm seeing from the black manosphere in general, it just proves what I've been saying. And I remember, I think it was either early on this year or last fall, where I made a video about Just Pearly Things. And I talked about how it was a horrible look for black men, especially black men in the black manosphere, to essentially allow a white woman to come in and essentially, say red pill talking points. Now you're gonna say, well, she's not a part of the black manosphere. Here's the problem with that statement, right? Just Pearly Things started off as some small channel that was what, 20,000. I remember her because people were saying, like, now folks who know me, right? My channel goes way back. Like, this is a reboot, actually. Like my original channel that I had, I think, like in 2020, that was good, like at 1,000 views per stream. Like my original channel was booming. And during this time period, like, Just Pearly Thing was a small YouTube. Like, I remember Just Pearly Things, she could barely get like 100 views of her video. That's how it was. She would have like 20,000 subscribers, and every video she did was like maybe 500 to 1,000. That's about it, right? And the only time she really started to get clout was when she started when she showed her black boyfriend angry reactions. Right? And that was really about it. But outside of that, like, she was really a nobody in that time, right? In fact, she was gonna come on. She was gonna call my show. Like, now for my old subscribers, like, y'all remember, like, I was gonna like Just Pearly Things, like, was going to be on my show. Like, I think in 2020. This before, of course, YouTube took out my channel. I had to create a new one. But my previous channel, like, she was gonna be there. Of course, it didn't work out. Something came up, and I had another stream. Well, I guess that's a good thing now, right? But I saw her and how she essentially catered her channel towards black content. Because people need to remember, right? She will constantly, like, she built off her channel reacting to rap videos, right? And she will say, the whitest girl on earth reacts to this rap video. The whitest girl on earth reacts to that rap video. That was literally her whole shtick, right? Just whitest girl on earth reacts to rap videos. And it was obvious that she was specifically aiming for a black audience, which was what she got, right? Because she was a white girl reacting to rap videos, so she got a mainly black audience, right? When that didn't work, because she got some subscribers, but at some point, the views started going down. So what did she do? She started to pivot to the black manosphere, right? Because remember, she could have done reaction videos to Royal Tomasi, right? She could have done reaction videos to Richard Cooper. She could have done reaction videos to other white, guys in the white males. So she didn't do that. She specifically chose to do reaction videos to the black manosphere, specifically Kevin Samuels. She even went on his show. She even paid $1,000, to Kevin Samuels to kind of show her, to help her out. Was for consultation. And so it was obvious from the beginning that the white manosphere never trusted. Like, let's be honest here. I don't want to sound you, right? When you look at JustPearlyThings, okay, it is obvious, and I mean super, super obvious, that within her own white community, white men don't want her. Can we just be honest here? It's obvious that within her own white community, white men do not want her, right? She does not have the body type or the looks or the beauty that the average white dude would be looking for. And within her own white community, even the white manosphere doesn't really like her like that. And so what did she do? She essentially tiptoed over to the black manosphere. Or she started to appeal to a black male audience. I'm not saying the black manosphere never officially claimed JustPearlyThings, but it's obvious that her content blew up covering black males, using black manosphere talking points. A lot of the talking points she was using was mainly from black manosphere, right? Specifically from Kevin Samuels. Then after a while, she started to pivot, to other things. But if you look at her show, right, it's mainly black people on that panel. Okay, that's mainly what her show mainly features, right? And I remember, I think last fall, I made a video telling my, hey, y'all have to stop. I'm not saying that you guys are propping up just with them. I'm saying, like, the black males need to come out here and make it very clear that I'm not associated with her because I'm seeing Melanie King over there. I'm seeing mediocre shows and reviews. What are you doing in JustPearlyThings studio? I just saw a live stream where MTR, right, mediocre shows and reviews was over there with JustPearlyThings. I'm like, brother, what are you doing there? Why are you on her platform? It's like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And so what ends up happening is, you guys say that the black manosphere, has nothing to do with JustPearlyThings, but yes, so many members of the black manosphere, from Obsidians to Melanie King to MTR, find themselves on the platform, or quote unquote associate themselves with her. And so when you do that, guess what happens? When JustPearlyThings, messes up, people are going to naturally put the black manosphere within that basket. Because so many of your prominent content creators, such as NTR, Melanie King, even Kevin Samuels, right, was seen as being associated with her. Whether that's true or not, that's the perception. And so this then brings us back to the whole JustPearlyThings the whole controversy, right? JustPearlyThings, she grew her channel all the way up to 2 million. When I made videos calling it out, talking about how the too many black men in the black manosphere caping for this girl, I got attacked, right? But recently, JustPearlyThings brought on Nick Fuentes, right? Now, for those who may not know, Nick Fuentes essentially, he is he is a white nationalist. He has said himself that he is like far right, alt-right. Okay, and he talks a lot about the Great Replacement theory, white people being replaced. He talks about a lot, right? So that's Nick Fuentes like shtick. That's what he really focuses on and talks about. She brought this dude on, right? My only question is this, right? Why would JustPearlyThings, who has become very popular, who has built her platform surrounding herself around black people, why would she then go out of her way to bring on Nick Fuentes, a white supremacist, a white nationalist? And then within the live stream, is throwing all kinds of jokes against the black diaspora, talking about, black people being late, talking about, my Africans, I love my Africans, and how much they work for me. Talking about how, black folks need to get over slavery and it's getting too, the overreacting. I mean, this is what she said. There was even a segment of the live stream which talked about how, Karens are needed. But see, the reason why this is getting so much play and the reason why this is, trending so much is because a lot of people, such as me, even just about right, have been saying that, and I had this conversation with B just after, right? I understand that black men, right, have issues with it. Well, I get that, right? Every community has their own issues, right? But the concern that I've had and I've called out is that what has happened in the black manosphere, right? Which, you can say, anyway, what has happened in the black manosphere is that it's gotten to a point where a lot of the resentment that black men have towards black women, this resentment has become so extreme that folks are now literally promoting anti-black talking points. Let me say it again, right? In the black manosphere, the resentment that some guys have towards black women has become, and look, I understand that there are issues, right? But the problem is that the resentment you guys have towards your female counterpart, right, has become so extreme that you guys are now openly carrying alt-right white supremacist talking points. I have literally heard black male content creators talking about how, black people are victims. What? I have literally heard in this space, in the black male space, right? I have heard black male content creators talking about the pro-blacks. What? What other community out here literally makes fun of those who support the group? So what you guys are telling me is that some of you guys have such a resentment and hatred towards your female counterpart that you're now willing to literally carry water for white supremacists. You're now willing to attack people who support the empowerment of the black diaspora. You're now willing to essentially fight against pro-black male, issues. Because in your mind, these are the pro-blacks. Like, bruh, what does that even? And that's another thing, right? Because when this situation came out, right? When JustPearlyThings was caught on the live stream with Nick Footas, right? And she was caught saying all these controversial things. One thing that really got me angry, got my blood boiling, was the sheer number of black men in the manosphere that was talking about pro-black. I was like, bruh, if it wasn't for the pro-blacks, if it wasn't for those who are pro-black people, you guys would still be in slavery. If it wasn't for the pro-blacks, it wasn't for those who are pro-black people, you will still be under Jim Crow. All of the benefits, the civil rights, all the things that you guys enjoy today is because of black people, pro-blacks who fought for the interests of the black community and the black diaspora. Same thing when it comes to black Africans. Right? It's the equivalent of black Africans saying, "Oh, what about these, founding fathers, the liberators?" If it wasn't for Mugabe, if it wasn't for these quote unquote, liberation leaders, many of y'all will still be under colonialism. It's crazy to see many black men who hop online in the United States, a country where they went through Jim Crow, and talk about people being pro-black. Bruh, if it wasn't for those pro-blacks, you'll be somewhere hanging from a tree. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that there aren't issues. Every community has issues, right? And yes, obviously, within because we live in this post-industrial, environment. Yes, the women are acting up. That's fine. But see, these issues are supposed to be done. These conversations are supposed to be had internally. They're supposed to be had within your own group. You're never supposed to be in a situation where you invite people or groups of women from another group to talk about your own internal issues. Because they don't have the same level of investment as you do. They're not as invested. You think they're laughing with you, they're laughing at you. And this kind of goes back to what I told BJ, which is that, look, that's another reason why I didn't really support the SYSBM Pastor Bro stuff. Because in my opinion, although I recognize that, yes, women in the West do have some issues, the wilding out, right? Look, before anyone says that, I very much do recognize that, in America, in America especially, right? A lot of women here on this feminism, so I get that. Especially black women, I get that. I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is that should not lead black men to pedestalize non-black women. And SYSBM and Passport Bros essentially has become a movement in which black men start to disassociate themselves, right? From the black community, from the black diaspora, right? From the black classification, and try to pedestalize other groups of women, right? And then we'll turn around and say, oh, look at the blacks. Look at the pro-blacks. Bruh, you don't think these non-black communities view the same way? When you're out here with Mingling, when you're out here with Maria, when you're out here with Becky, do you really believe that these communities want you to fuck their women? Are y'all that delusional? Do you really believe that these communities want you to be there? Do you really believe these communities are not talking about you behind your back? But see, it's like, and see, this is what gets me so angry, right? How was the black manosphere created? Because for those who may not know, right, the black manosphere originally, was just the manosphere, right? It was just, men, black men and white men talking about male issues, right? There was no race separation at the beginning, right? The reason why black men made their own space is because the amount of racism that they got from white males. Whenever black men talk, and see, this is what it's about, right? You guys could never do SYSBM, right, in a white male space. You could never do that. Because originally, when you guys were in the same space as white men, whenever you brought up interracial dating, whenever you brought up dating white women, white men will flame you. You guys could never do SYSBM Paso Bros in the same spaces with white men. Because they will show the racism to you real quick. And so because the amount of racism y'all got, y'all had to go out and make your own space. But it's crazy how the same group of men that literally had to go out and make their own space because of how racist white men are, all of a sudden, become retarded when it comes to race. It's crazy to me. Y'all will make all these excuses for just purely thinking what she said. But yet, you guys had to leave the white men. You guys had to separate and make your own space because of the amount of racism you got from white males. But yet, your goal in the black manosphere and talk about pro-blacks and how, why are y'all obsessed with race? What? What? What do you mean we're obsessed with race? The entire black manosphere was created because y'all were being, literally racially attacked by white males online. But I guess now that you guys have made your own space, you now want to present as if you want to present as if racism exists, right? But see, this goes back to another issue that I was talking about, right? Which is that whether it's the black male, the sort of black male sphere, the black female sphere, what I've started to see, right, especially on Black YouTube, is this weird situation where the black males, right, black men, right, have their own internal issues when it comes to black women. Okay? And so what they will do is they will tell black women left and right. Right? And look, some of those are legit. I'm glad some of the concerns they have about them are legit, right? That's fine, right? That's an internal conversation. The issue is they will take an internal conversation about them and their women, right? And they will turn around and start to pedestalize non-black women. Instead of you talking about the sort of internal issue you have with your own women and trying to resolve that, no. You want to turn around, pedestalize Becky, pedestalize Mei Ling, pedestalize non-black women. You even allow non-black people to hop on your panels, Lapeef, Anton Daniels. I'm gonna name names. I'm calling out names. The fact that Anton Daniels allowed Amira to hop onto the Peace Network and talk about black issues, I'm like, that's a total red flag. But see, once again, you allow the resentment you have towards your women, right, to get so extreme that you're now willing to allow other groups of people to hop into your community and spit in your face. And I remember I was having a conversation with BS at BGS, brother. The reason why I don't fuck with this Passover SYSBS is because, once again, what you guys are doing is you're taking non-black communities and you're bringing them into your internal conversation. And that's dangerous because those people don't know what it's like to be black. Those people don't have your history. Those people did not go through what you went through. They don't understand your struggles. And so there's always this risk that they'll turn left. Because remember, they're always going to be a part of their communities. When you bring home a white girl, a Hispanic girl, an Asian girl, she will never be black. And when you take this girl, right, and you bash your own women in front of her, how do you think that makes you look? How? You think that's a good look? Like, come on, man. And the crazy part is that they do this while not realizing that all across the world, right, different groups of people do not separate black men and black women. You're viewed in the same category. So although many guys in the black manosphere want to live in this delusion of they're separate from black women, that's not true. Every other group of people put you all in the same category. So when you're out here pedestalizing non-black women, talking about SYSBM, talking about how amazing Becky is, in the eyes of other groups of people, they're like, dude, they lose respect. Like, they lose respect of you. They look because from their point of view, right? If you're willing to denigrate your own female counterpart publicly, I can't trust you in my community. Look, let me give you guys a great example, right? Let me give you a great example, okay? Look at the divestors, right? What is the number one struggle, hurdle that divestors go through, right? What is the biggest hurdle? Very obvious, right? The biggest hurdle, right? The biggest hurdle that black female divestors go through is that when they go to white men and they disparage black men, how do white men react? The way white men view them is, okay, if you're willing to disparage your own male counterpart to me, I can't trust you. If you're willing to throw your own men under the bus, you'll throw me under the bus. That's the reason why most white men don't really deal with that business, because the whole idea is, if this divester is willing to stab her own man in the back, she'll do that to me. Black men, that's how these other non-black communities view the black manosphere. If you're willing to denigrate your own women publicly, you'll do that to them. If you're willing to essentially turn on your own women publicly, right? They can't trust you in their communities. Because how long will it take before you do that to them? Right? And the same thing applies to the women. But I'm seeing this weird situation where within the black community itself, right, there are internal struggles, which I agree with. But instead of the black men, the black women, talking about these things internally, what you're starting to see is both sides are becoming extreme. The men essentially are starting to pedestalize non-black women. The men are starting to bring in non-black people, non-black women into the internal conversation. Okay? The men have become so extreme that now they're actively carrying white supremacist talking points. Talking about, oh, you guys are victims. What? How can you, as a black man in America, and the history you've gone through with Jim Crow, call other black men victims? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. But see, if a white dude hops in a panel and says y'all were victims, you guys would call it racist. But when you guys call other black men victims, that's okay. Okay? That's what hold up. She said nothing racist. See, this is what I'm talking about. This, and by the way, Felix Cruz, let me ask you a question. Are you a black male? Because I wasn't planning on opening the panels, but you know what? I may open the panels because this get on my nerves. Okay? So when it comes to Felix, tell me in the chat, Felix. Let me know in the chat. Huh? What do you mean she said nothing racist? Number one, she made fun of her African employees, calling them my African, right? She and Nick Fuentes talked about how, oh, they're late because they're black. She then talked about how Karens are needed, right? Because, they weren't doing this to be done. And then to make it even worse, on top of that, okay? To make it even worse on top of that, right? She said that black people, right, that quote unquote slavery is over exaggerated and that parts of slavery are wrong. That's what she said. Oh, you're Cuban. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, black men. The black manosphere has created an environment where you can have non-black people, even Cubans, feel comfortable to hop into internal black conversations. Talking about, she said nothing racist. This. I mean, it's happening before our eyes. First of all, Felix Cruz. You know what? I don't even know if I should open the panel up because it's. But you know what? Let me just do that. Okay. You know what, Felix? Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. And guys, sorry for the noise in the background. I'm so noisy. Here's what I'm gonna do, Felix. Okay. I'm gonna put a link in the chat. We got this conversation. Okay. I have some time today. And we'll address it. Okay? We'll address it. Let me go and get my shit real quick. Oh, man. We can address it. Because it's we can address it. Now he says, why not look at it as a different outlook rather than what do you mean? What other outlook are you talking about? Now, keep this in mind, guys. Now, I had an entire video about Hispanics, right? Because this is a learning moment for black folks. Remember when I had that video talking about, you know, the Hispanic Americans, Latinos, and how they have a racial hierarchy? It's white Hispanics at the top, mestizos, everybody else. And you already know how when it comes to Cubans in South Florida, how much they lean GOP and lean towards white. There is no other way of looking at it. Because if Just Pearly Things would have said some shit about the Jewish community, she would have been canceled. But Just Pearly Things can talk about how slavery is over exaggerated and parts of it are embellished. And you'll have non-black folks who are comfortable enough to come and say this shit right here. And this is what I'm talking about. Black men in the black manosphere have become so extreme that you have started to carry anti-black white supremacist talking points, which has allowed all these non-black communities to say shit like this. This is what I'm talking about. Talking about it's a different. What do you mean a different outlook? It's oh man, it's just my blood is just boiling right now. It's boiling. It's boiling. And this also ties back to the whole Paso Bro shit. Because I remember when black men were on this Paso Bro shit, I said once again, brother, okay? I remember when I came out against the Paso Bro, I did my live stream. And you had so many folks that were angry, mad at me. And I said, once again, okay, the reason why I don't support the Paso is because black men, right, are not being race realists right here. They're not. Yes, all across the world, white people are viewed at the top of the hierarchy. So white men can go out here on sex tourism all they want to and get away with it. But the problem is that black men are viewed at the bottom of the hierarchy everywhere, and they're viewed as like one big thug. Let's keep it real. It doesn't matter if you're a black man in Africa, in the Caribbean. The image of black men all across the world is a mindless brute, a big black brute. That's the Mandingo. That's the image black men across the world. And so wherever you go, you're not going to get the same treatment as the white male counterpart. So yeah, white dudes can go to Brazil and run through females, no problem. But when Austin Holloman and black men do it, yeah, they get tagged with sex tourism. And now apparently, right, you have an MP trying to investigate Austin Holloman for sex tourism. They're now saying that they're saying that if Austin Holloman ever goes to Brazil, get arrested. Now, guys will say that's unfair. You're right. That is unfair, right? But once again, it's only surprising to those, right, who literally became disingenuous when it came to race. When it came to people like me who were honest about racial issues, honest about black men's position, I already knew this, which is why I didn't support Pastor Bros. Because black men already have a bad image to begin with. Okay, black men already have this image of this mindless brutes that essentially look for sexual access from non-black women. That's already your image all across the world. That's the reason why they'll tell their kids, don't deal with that black dude. They'll let their dog deal with a white dude, not you. And so having that stereotype and then turning around and making an entire movement about black men seeking sexual access of non-black women is like taking the oil and throwing the stove. You literally it's like you dug your own grave. They already viewed you guys as quote-unquote brutes that was trying to fuck their women. Now you made an entire movement literally based on it. And now they have the ammo to need. And yes, it is unfair, right? But it's also anti-black racism. But this is what happens where your resentment towards your female counterpart gets so extreme, right, that you start carrying pro-white talking points. The problem is you're not white. And so when you end up in a situation where you get treated like any other black person, you're like, I don't understand. Just Pearly Things was rejected from the white manosphere. Let's be honest here. Just Pearly Things was rejected from the white manosphere. The white manosphere wanted nothing to do with her. Roll Tomasi called her out. Other white dudes called her out. And so because she couldn't make it in the white manosphere, because white men were not trying to date her like that in real life, then she came to the black spaces and climbed to the top. And the crazy part is you have people who are still defending JustPearlyThings. I can understand a non-black individual. This one, Felix, bro. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you in my chat, okay? If you want to say something, hop on the person and talk to you directly. Do that, because I'm not going back from the chat. This is too much. Like, I'm not reading entire sentences. But he says the black men are the most. Yes, they are, Felix. The black men are the most hidden mentality isn't healthy. Black men will carry themselves in a respectful manner. No, that's not true. That's not true. Let's be honest here, Felix Cruz. That's not true. Okay? It doesn't matter how well you dress. It doesn't matter how well you speak. You're still going to be viewed, right, as being part of that classification. Let's be honest here. Bruh, dude, let me ask you a question, right? You have Asian women that will publicly put down their own men just to go for white dudes. Just for them to be white. They will get with an average white dude, pedestalize him just for him being white. An Asian dude can be successful at himself, but guess what? An average white guy can step in and get his girl. When it comes to black men, you can be successful all you want to, right? But all it takes is for an average white dude to walk in the door and they're all in. And by the way, for you to be saying this, for you to say this as a Cuban, are you fucking serious? With the amount of racism in South America? For those who may not know, right? In South America, there is a racial hierarchy, right? In which the white Hispanics and the mestizos make up the majority, right? First is white Hispanics, then is mestizo, and then below them is indigenous and black folks. So, Cruz, you literally come from a community, the Cubans, right, that are known for being anti-black. What are we talking about here? You literally come from a region that pedestalizes whiteness. But you want to hop on here talking about how it's just a mentality? This is what I'm talking about. But see, it's because of guys in the black manosphere, instead of you just focusing on black or internal issues with black women, y'all wanted to go out here and pedestalize non-black people. Y'all wanted to go out here and push SYSBM. Y'all wanted to go out here and push Paso Bros. Y'all wanted to go out here and pull non-black communities into your internal conversations. And then you wonder why shit like this happens. Akua Obeng says, when will black men ever learn, no matter how much you put down black, they will never. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why don't they understand this? Outside of the black community, you're viewed the same. Like, dude. Outside the black community, you're viewed as part of the same group. And I keep having this conversation. Okay? You don't think white men have their own problems? You don't think Hispanics have their own problems? But they make sure to keep that shit within the group. But you guys publicly doing it is not a good thing. Keep it within the group. But when you actively, publicly pedestalize other groups of women, other groups of people, right, that don't even view you, he's right, they don't view you as human beings. They're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. It's like, let me ask you a question, right? If you see a brother and a sister walking out, and the brother is talking bad about the sister, even though, look, even if everything he's saying is true about his sister, the fact that he's saying that to other groups of people, right, hurts him in the long run. Because the same way, right, they're going to attack his sister, they will attack him too, because they're gonna be like, okay, well, the question is, why did he allow his sister to do this? Come on, man. Fearless Cool, stop that nonsense. Talking about Cubans don't, bruh. Cubans in Florida have been known for being anti-black. Cubans in Florida are some of the biggest voters for the GOP. Cubans in Florida identify mainly as white. Cubans in Florida lean towards whiteness. Same thing of Cubans in Cuba themselves. What are we talking about here? So now you're gonna come here and gaslight folks? And it's not just Cubans, bro. It's mainly mestizos all across South America, bro. They're known for pedestalizing whiter skin. They're known for this. Akua Bank says the pastor bros are allowing non-black women, black women, no other way. Exactly. And see, this what gets me so mad, Bank, right? For those who may not know, the black manosphere originally, right? Originally, there was no black manosphere. Originally, there was no black manosphere. It was just a manosphere. So black men used to be in the same spaces as white men. But guess what happened, Obeng, right? As soon as black men started talking about racial issues, as soon as black men started talking about white women, as soon as black men started talking about dating outside of the race, dating white women, white men checked their ass. White men made it very clear that, hey, we're not going to allow you black dudes to talk about our women in our presence. We're not going to allow you black dudes to talk about you dating white women in our presence. They went so hard on black men for doing that black men had to go and make their own spaces because they were getting so much racial abuse. Another example, right? Kevin Samuels, and guys, remember this, right? When Kevin Samuels was still alive, right, he went to Fresh and Fit. This is before he blew up, right? Kevin Samuels, when he was still alive, he went to Fresh and Fit. And Kevin Samuels checked a white woman, right, on the show. Do you know what happened? For weeks, white men were mad. White men in the white manosphere were mad that Kevin Samuels checked a white woman on Fresh and Fit. Now, keep in mind, right? White men agree with what Kevin Samuels is saying, right? White men in the white manosphere agree with what Kevin Samuels is saying. But when Kevin Samuels checked that white girl, they felt a certain kind of way. Why? Because in their minds, she is still our woman. That's the point, right? White men may have issues with their own women, but they made it very clear, yeah, we may have issues with white women, but guess what? They're still our women. And we're not going to allow Kevin Samuels and black men or non-white men to check our women. They were on code with that. But yet, black men, you allow non-black people to hop in your spaces and attack black women. What? White men make it very clear that they will never allow you to talk bad about their own women. But yet, you allow other groups of people to attack your own women, right? Come on. And remember, right, white men also have their own issues with white women, but guess what? They make it very clear, hey, although you may not like the whole white feminism thing, they're still our women. And we're not going to allow you Negroes to check them. But y'all understand that. But let's keep going. In what way are we anti-black? They're black. Dude, Now we're being disingenuous, okay? When it comes to the Republican Party, right? The Republican Party clearly, right? Their main policy is against anything that they view as empowering Black folks. In fact, anything that could potentially empower Black people is called woke. Let's be honest here, man. Right? Like Ron DeSantis literally banned an African American history course just recently. White conservatives have been on this thing against critical race theory and the 1619 Project, right? They've been banning Black history left and right. They've been on this stuff. Just recently, there was a state in the South where they said that anything before 1970 should not be taught. So it's like white conservatives and the GOP has been very well known for being racist towards Black people. I'm not saying Democrats are not racist, but the Republicans are much more blatant with it. Let's be honest here, man. The GOP is the main one talking about how, they don't do reparations. Come on. Get over the past. Pull yourself by your own bootstraps. Right? And by the way, that's also the reason why, and by the way, when it comes to the Black GOP voters, they're viewed as coons. Let's be honest here. Candace Owens, Brennan Tatum, they are viewed as coons because they carry water for white supremacists. And he says, what's wrong with white and what? Dude, once again, right, it's the context, okay? In South America was colonized, right, by mainly Spaniards and the Portuguese. The native population was erased. And so a racial hierarchy exists in South America, in which the whites are at the top, and then below them is the mestizos, and then below them is the Blacks and the indigenous people. The Black and the indigenous people are viewed at the bottom. And so when you look at most South American countries, including Cuba, right, they place a premium on whiteness. They place a premium on lighter skin. Let's be honest here, man. Let's be honest here. They devalue, like, bruh, colorism in Cuba, colorism in these South American countries is off the chains. What are we talking about here? White Hispanics are a minority in South America, and yet in every single South American country, the white minority runs their government. Come on, bruh. Stop this disingenuous stuff. But see, once again, right, guys, Felix Cruz is Cuban. When I had my video about this whole black and brown nonsense, I said, look, y'all need to stop with this black and brown BS. I told y'all, you need to stop with this black and brown BS. They're not your allies. They're coming from countries where they pedestalize whiteness. And they're going to come here and hug you? I'm like, just recently, right? They're now trying to pass laws across the country to allow non-citizens to vote. In D.C., they're really trying to pass this. And you have Black folks caping for this stuff. They'll be your friends, right? As long as they're quote unquote illegal, as long as they're in a bad position. But as soon as they're in a good position, they'll turn around and call you a Moreno. Oh, don't deal with those Morenos over there. Oh, and by the way, Felix Cruz, right? Since you want to be so disingenuous, okay, Felix Cruz, I want you to explain in the chat, right, the concept of la mejor raza. Felix Cruz, have you ever heard of the concept of la mejor raza, right? Bettering the race. This is a concept that's very well known towards South America. The idea of if you are a mestizo, you either get with another mestizo or you go white. The goal is to progress towards whiteness. Now, I don't know who's more Arab than Spanish. Yeah, it's Arabs and Hispanics, so just I'm like it's crazy. It's equally bad. One thing I will say is this, right? Here's what separates the Arabs and Hispanics, right? Hispanics actually do have black people with no cover. Hispanic is not a race, right? Hispanics actually do have black people with no group, even though they spit it in their face, right? Arabs are more blatant with it. Like, they will call you a Habib, right? Black Africans are being beaten up in Tunisia right now, right? I mean, let's keep like this is not just happening to black Americans, bro. This is a black phenomenon. Black people all across the world are going through this shit. So right here in America, you got Hispanics, calling black Americans morenos. In Africa, you got black Africans being stabbed in Tunisia, being called Habib. I'm like, it is like everywhere you go across the world, black people are being slapped. It's crazy to me. But instead of dudes focusing on that, what they want to do is hop on pedals, pedestalizing non-black women. That's what I'm talking about. But to answer your question, Obel, right? When it comes to these two groups, Arabs are more blatant with it. Hispanics, they come to the door talking about how the people of color. They come to the door talking about black and brown. They come to the door talking about how we're your friends, right? Oh, mi amigo, mi amigo. Mm-hmm. But as soon as they get the majority, as soon as they get leverage, then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, I'm tired of these blacks. I'm tired of these morenos. Why is it always the blacks? Come on, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Twitter screen said, look, most of the pedestalize the phenotype of the majority, black Asian. Dude, no, stop that feeling. You're being disingenuous again. Okay? We live in right now, we live under American hegemony, Western hegemony. Everybody knows that the people who rule the world right now are white. Western nations, white Western nations rule the globe right now. White people are viewed at the top around the world. And so therefore, people will pedestalize whiteness because they view white people as being at the top. Come on, man, stop this disingenuous stuff. They view white people as being at the top of the hierarchy. That's how white people are viewed. Like, even in African nations, even in black countries, they also pedestalize white. Let's be honest here. Look at how many black African nations are looking the other way as black Africans are being stabbed and killed in Tunisia. Think about it. Like, I'm tired of this. It's like now you're gonna sit here as a white Cuban, and make it seem as if white people are not pedestalized. Like, what are we talking about? But see, this is what I'm talking about. The black men, the black manosphere, instead of them keeping the issues internal, instead of them keeping internal issues internally, they wanted to take these non-black people, non-black women, bring them in the community to talk about black people's issues. Instead of you keeping it between you and your women, you wanted to go and pedestalize Asian women. You wanted to go and pedestalize Hispanic women. You wanted to go and pedestalize non-black people. And when they come in your spaces calling you a victim, then you're like, Hammer, I don't understand what's happening. Like, what? Fuck out of here. Obong says, non-black people worship whiteness, black over the world are treated like dolls, shit with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what is he talking about? Look at what happened in Ukraine. Look what happened in Ukraine. When the black African students tried to flee, they got slapped. They got treated like shit. Look at what's happening in Tunisia. Okay? Well, you have have Tunisians going out of the way, hunting black. They're literally hunting black Africans, killing them. It's literally, it's like, in my opinion, it's like, this is the closest thing we've seen of Jim Crow against black Africans. What's happening in Tunisia? They're being hunted, being killed, being burnt alive. It's crazy. But see, the crazy part is Tunisia would have never done this to white Europeans, right? Bruh, there are white Europeans who live in that country. They would have never went after white Europeans like this because they didn't know what the power is. But they'll go and attack black Africans. Fuck out of here. Bettering the race doesn't mean white. Oh my God. He says bettering the race doesn't mean whitening the race. In many cases, it means merit in social class. Okay, no, that's a fucking lie. Okay? That's a lie. That's a lie. In South America, colorism, in many ways, colorism takes precedence over class. Let's keep it real. In many ways, colorism takes precedence over class. You could be a very popular, wealthy black person in South America, but guess what? You're still going to be viewed as being at the bottom of the hierarchy. You're still going to have less privileges than the average white South American, white Hispanic. Like, come on, bro. Stop this nonsense. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Bettering the race, right? It's meant to mean that the goal idea is to progress towards whiteness. That's what it's about, okay? If you go to most of these South American countries, the standard of beauty is white. If you go to most of these South American countries, right, the people who rule the governments, white. Okay? If you go to most of these South American countries, right, the people who control the economy is white. Even though mestizos are the majority, the white minority who are white still run everything. Like, stop this nonsense. Yeah, feeling cool is definitely deflecting. Yeah, so shout out to See the Music. Okem Kua Obeng says, I remember this non-black Algerian. Oh Lord. I remember this non-black Algerian told me she was African. I had to check her and tell her she didn't air up. Like, girl, go sit down. So exactly. Okay? Exactly. And the crazy part, Obeng, this is not Obeng. This is my first time seeing you. So, Obeng, are you a new subscriber? Because I haven't seen you before. So let me know in the chat if you are a new subscriber to this channel. But, you know, I don't know if you saw it, but I recently had a live stream about black Africans being attacked in Tunisia. And that live stream, I talked about how it's almost as if it doesn't matter where black people are. Even if you, like, what is America, the Caribbean, UK, Europe? Oh, okay, you subscriber. Okay, you subscriber. Okay, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. But it's like in that video, what I talked about, you know, black Africans being attacked in Tunisia, right? I said, look, when you look around the world, what you see is black people are true. I'm like, think about this. You're being attacked on your own continent. On your own continent. And the crazy part is you will still have black Africans in the chat defending North African Arabs. But see, this ties back to the Just Pearly Things conversation. Okay? This ties back to the Just Pearly Things conversation. Which is that I don't know what it is about black folks, especially black men, where we have this thing where we pedestalize non-black groups, where we are so willing to welcome non-black people into our spaces, and then when they stab us in the back, We ask so why. And the crazy part is, you still have black men in the black manosphere that will defend just purely things. They're like, you have black men in the black manosphere that will actually defend her, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But see, this just shows you how bad it's gotten when it comes to black folks. And the crazy part is, it's not just happening to the men, it's happening to the women too. I'm seeing the situation where both the men and the women, right? Look, let's be honest here, right? Whether it is black Americans, black Caribbeans, black Africans, right? Black people across the world have their own internal issues. We know that. But guess what? Every community has their own issues. But the goal is to talk about these issues within your own community. The goal is to talk about these issues internally. That's the goal. But it's like, whether it's black women or black men, what we have seen is that both sides have become so extreme that they're now starting to carry white supremacist talking points. You got black men talking about, oh, stop being a victim. You got black men talking about SYSBN. You got black men talking about Pastor Bros. You got black men pedestalizing non-black women. And then when it comes to the black females, you have them being divestors. You have them talking about naked. I'm like, both sides are becoming so. You literally have black women wearing Confederate flags. Both sides have become so extreme. So extreme. Oh, you're a female? Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I'm a female, and I view gender as extremely divisive, professional fans. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But tell me. Okay. So you're a female. Where do you live? Are you like a Ghanaian, Nigerian? Like, let me know, because I can see you have an African name. Like for me, my family came from West Africa. But here's the problem. I recognize that I'm a black person. I recognize I'm part of the black diaspora. Okay. Okay. But let's be honest here. But yeah, so Obey, to tell me like where are you from? You like from Nigeria, like Kenya? Tell me, I want to know. Because I'm sorry. Oh, you live in the UK. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And see, that's what I'm saying, right? Every community has their own struggles. Ghanaians have their own issues in their own community. Nigerians have their own issues, right? Even Egyptians have their own issues. Within the Arab community, they have their own issues. Because a lot of people don't know, right? Within the Arab community, there is hierarchies, right? I have literally heard North African Arabs tell me that, hey, if you are an Algerian or Moroccan and you go to the Middle East, right, they will view you as beneath them. They will view you as not being purely Arab. So even within the Arab community, they have issues. But you see how they always make sure to keep that within themselves. They will never allow a black African or black person to enter their internal Arab conversations. But y'all will sit here, and this was so crazy, right? This was crazy. There are so many black women. There are so many black women in the black manosphere that has catered to black men hard. Crimson Cure, Jessica X, Pink Book Leslie. You guys don't go and empower those black women. You don't go and empower the black women that are actually supporting black men. No, what y'all want to do is pedestalize non-black women. What y'all want to do is push SYSBM. What y'all want to do is push Passport Bros. What y'all want to do is bring non-black people to disparage your own women. Dude, I don't care. I do not care what issues I have with my own women. I will never, ever, 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 ever in my life allow another group whether they be male or female, to hop into my community, hop into my home, and disparage my female counterpart. I will never do that. Ever. Even if what they're saying is true. Even if what they're saying is true, I don't care. You're not one of us. You're not black. You're not a part of this community. So no, I'm not going to allow you to hop into my home, hop into my community, and disparage my female counterpart. Whatever issue we have, that's between me and her, and we'll figure that out. But to allow another group of people to come in your community and do this, it's crazy to me. And before you have black men saying, "Oh well, it's not our fault," look. A lot of you guys are gonna say, a lot of you guys are gonna say that Just Purely Things is not a part of the Black Manosphere, right? Okay, fine. But let's be honest here, right? A lot of content creators in the Black Manosphere have been supporting Just Purely Things. Melanie King, the lead attorney, mediocre tours and reviews, right? And Anton Daniels. Let's be honest here. To some extent, Kevin Samuels. There's been a whole array of black male content creators who are part of the Black Manosphere. Okay? There's been a whole array of black male content creators who are part of the Black Manosphere that have essentially either platformed Just Purely Things, cater to her, or that they will literally allow her to disparage black women on the panel. Let's not pretend as if Anton Daniels was not pandering to Just Purely Things. Let's not pretend as if the lead attorney was not pandering to Just Purely Things. Let's not pretend as if Mr. Fantastic was not pandering to Just Purely Things. Let's not pretend as if Obsidian was not pandering to Just Purely Things. But then when Just Purely Things is talking about but then when Just Purely Things brings on Nick Fuentes, a white supremacist, when Just Purely Things is making fun of black people with Nick Fuentes, when Just Purely Things is talking about how slavery is overblown, oh, now all of a sudden she is not a part of the Black Manosphere. Come on, man. I know. Yeah, I'm like, look, here's the thing. Look, I very much acknowledge that, look, there are issues, right? There is a gender divide. I acknowledge that. But my thing is, these issues, right, need to be dealt with internally. It should never get to a point where you allow your enemy to infiltrate your community. It should never get to that point. Caesar, like, I literally just read your comment. Come on, man. Sometimes I get so heartbroken at the way black people hate each other. Also in the violent. Ekum Obeng, let me ask you a question. Since you are a black woman, are you available to hop on the panel? Because I really wanna ask some questions too. Okay, so Kua Obeng, let me know in the chat if you're available to hop. You don't have to show your face or anything. You can just like hide your camera and just speak through the voice. But let me know if you're available to hop on the panel. So I want to talk to you quickly, the black female, right? Because one thing I've noticed is because I have been in the black female, I've listened to them, right? And most of the arguments I hear from the black female space is this idea of colorism, right? Or that the main crux of the argument is that black men essentially, right, have all these demands for black women, but then they will let white women or non-black women slide. And at first, I said that was over exaggeration, but when I started to see the passport bullshit, I said, you know what, they're right. Because I'm seeing videos of non-black women slapping black dudes. I'm seeing videos of Austin Holland being slapped by an Asian chick in Thailand, but you'll have dudes in the chat talking about I'm 4 women or better. It's crazy to me. It's good to me. But yeah, Akua Bay, yeah, just let me know if you're able to hop on. If not, that's fine. Okay. Wait a minute. Your connection on StreamYard is not working today? It's not working. Okay, well, let me do this. I'm gonna put the link. Try again and see if it works. Yeah, so click the link. Try again and see if StreamYard works. If not, that's fine. Or you can try the different browser. But yeah, so we'll see if she can do that. But it's just, in my opinion, this is getting retarded to me. Okay, this needs to be addressed, right? Because this is the problem I have with this entire conversation. Okay? Okay? This is the problem with this entire conversation. Right? Is that when it comes to this situation, right, other groups of people are laughing at you. Let's be honest here. You're never going to see a black man. It's not working. Bank, tell me, what browser are you on? Like, tell me what browser you're on. Let me know in the chat. But this is the problem. This is the problem with the situation, right? Is that other groups of people are laughing at us, are laughing at the black diaspora, are laughing at the black community. They are. Because you're never going to see white men allow black men to disparage white women on the panel. White men have made it very clear they may agree with the black manosphere, but they will never allow a black dude to hop on the white manosphere and disparage their women. Hispanic men won't allow it. Asian men won't allow it. But y'all have a lot of a white chick to do this to y'all. And look, what's so crazy is that so many guys in the black manosphere talk about how, they're thinking black men. So you're thinking black male, but yet you don't understand how the world views you? You're thinking black man, but you don't understand the idea of race? You're thinking black man, but you don't understand the problem with quote-unquote pedestalizing non-black women? You're thinking black man, but you don't understand the problem that's why it's being Paso Bros? Black men already have this bad stereotype of being mindless brutes that want to fuck non-black women. And what did y'all do? Y'all made an entire movement about black men trying to fuck non-black women. You literally took oil and threw it on the stove. Let's be honest here. And guys, sorry about the noise in the back, y'all. Let's be honest here. See, look, I have no problem talking to anyone, whether it's a male, female, black, white, as long as they got the facts. That's what matters to me. Okay? So, I think I'll leave it there. Aku Obeng, I really want to get on the panel though. Aku Obeng, before let me see this. Aku Obeng, let me know how, like, what browser are you using? I haven't been able to get to work. I really want to talk to you before I go. So, Aku Obeng, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you can let me know in chat. Yeah. So, because if you're having issues, then what I will say is try using maybe Chrome, maybe Microsoft Edge. If you're on the phone, that may be another issue. Try using another browser and see if that works, and kind of let me know. If not, then I guess we can try it another time. But I just wait a minute. I think she. Okay, you're gonna have to say yes. A cool bang. I see you in the back. Okay, I see you in the back, a cool bang, but Yeah, you're gonna have to allow them to. You're gonna have to allow your mic and your mic and your to connect. Yeah, guys, she's trying to connect in the back, but she needs to allow it to connect. So I don't know if she can hear me. So yeah, just you have to allow it to connect. Man, if only I could. I can't connect it for her though. That's the point. Oh man, yeah. So just yeah. So I call back. Make sure you have to enable the mic and the cam. Otherwise, it won't let you on. So you have to enable the mic and the cam. So we'll see if she's able to fit. Let me write in the chat. Let me see here. Well, bang, enable here. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, my shoes on anyway. I just want to do quick. Bang, mic and cam. When hopping on StreamYard. Okay. In order for it to let you on, then you can disable the cam. Yeah, she was trying to hop out, but she got a little confused. So we'll see if she can try it again. So I put in the chat. Hold on. You have to when you click on the link, you have to enable the mic and the cam, right? And then afterwards, right when I see you appear, then you can disable the cam and hop on. But when you come in originally, you have to first allow it, like give it the permission to. So let's try that again and see if that works. If not, we can move on. But I really want to hear what you got to say though. But yeah, so but sorry about it, y'all. But yeah, but it's like, look, at the end of the day, man, look, I had to address this because this did not begin today. Because a lot of people need to recognize, right? I was saying this stuff like from the beginning of last year. I will say since the beginning of maybe, I will say even 2021. I remember I had this back and forth with BGS about the whole passport shit. This was piensa, right? And it's like, and I was still saying, y'all getting like, it's getting to a shit. I was talking about when I was art, like on the arts panel, like, and even I think it was art in more. I was like, you guys are literally now pedestalizing non-black women, and you're doing it openly. And y'all think is a flex? Come on, man. Come on. Before let me just oh my god, that pearl mud shark is black. Man, it's like wow. Devin Wright, are you a white male? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's like black men do not use the word mud shark. So Devin Wright, before I even engage with your comment, I need you to confirm to me in the chat if you're a white male. Because this is gonna provide more context to what I'm talking about. Okay? Like black men do not use the word mud shark. Okay? Mud shark is typically a term that white men use to any black woman they see being dicked down by black dick. Let's be honest here. Ah, there it is. Of course you are, Devin. Of course I'm not. Like what? What black person says mud shark? How can she be, dude? Devin Wright, dude. I already told you. Okay, she invite. First of all, Just Pearly Things invited. No, she does not belong. And by the way, y'all, look, you have a white dude saying that Just Pearly Things is a mud shark. She belongs to our community. I told y'all. Okay, the white manosphere did not accept Just Pearly. They didn't. White men did not accept her. The white community did not accept her. So what did she do? She hopped over to the black manosphere, hopped over to Anton Daniels, hopped over to the lead attorney, and y'all allowed her to build her platform off of black men. But to answer your question, white male, she had Nick Fuentes. Now, Devin Wright, as a white supremacist yourself, you must very much know who Nick Fuentes is, right? I know guys like you who are white supremacists know who Nick Fuentes is, right? Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist, all right. She talked about black people being late. She talked about my Africans. She talked about how slavery is not a big deal. They need to get over it. She talked about how we need Karens. Disrespecting black folks the whole stream. Oh.
Hello?
Oh, cool, bro. You finally hopped on. How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for hopping on. As you can see here, a white supremacist wanted to, come in, and he calls her a mud shark, which I keep telling black men, look, most of these non-black communities don't want you fucking their women. They don't. And they will call them, and when they're caught, they will like disassociate with them. She's already being called a mud shark by white men. Because she got with a black dude once. That's it.
Oh my god. That's
what is it. This was starting to happen now, right? And I feel like, look, I'm not saying there are not issues in a black community. There are, but these needs to be had within internally. You should not have a situation where you're having other people within your community.
Right. Keep it within like the family.
Yeah. And so, but the reason I want to bring you out, cool, because you say you are a black woman living in the United States, right? Of course, you're from Ghanaian descent. Are you familiar with the content creators such as Chrissy, Just Pearly? I'm sorry. Chrissy.
Yes, all of them.
You know all of them, right? Okay. I've always wanted to ask, one of the viewers these questions so I can better understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to many of the black women in the black female sphere, right?
Right.
What is the real complaints when it comes to black males here, right? Because it seems like from a black man looking, it seems like it seems like they think black men are fucking white women. Is that what's going on?
I don't even know what their issue like when I go on spaces like Cynthia G's channel. Of course, I can't even listen to her for like 10 minutes, but. Like she be talking about the black male pathology and how they're chasing after white women but yet she's like allowing black women to divest. So I don't even know. Like it's like the real complaint is black men chasing after like non-black women, but like it just seems very hypocritical on their end because they're promoting divestment.
Okay,
I find it very hypocritical.
And what about the other content creators like Paris Milan, Chrissy? Like, do you know them as well too?
Yes, but I know Paris Milan, but I don't know her as much as Cynthia G. But all I know is that she also promotes that divestment mess. So
okay, now let me ask you a question: is there anything they say that you agree with, or do you disagree with what they say?
No, not really. The only thing I kind of agree with is I guess there's a lot of self-hating black men out there who chase after non-black women. But of course, it's not all black men, and they act like it's all of them. That's my issue.
But you know what's so crazy? One thing I keep hearing a lot from black women in the black female space is this term colorism. I
Mm.
hear this a lot from For Harriet, from Chrissy, from Paris Milan. And before I continue, like as a black female, do you agree with that? Like, are black women self conscious when it comes to their image, like the dark skin or whatever?
Yes, a lot of black women are, and colorism is a real thing. It
Hmm.
really is. Like, darker skinned people, like, they tend to be treated way, like, just treated like, I don't even know. Like, colorism is a real thing, so I understand where they're coming from. Like, a lot of, like, black men, not all of them, not all of them, but a lot of black men, like, they don't like women who looks exactly like them. They
I agree
like
with
they
that. I
like
agree.
the
The light skin,
Dominican looking women.
that's
And,
true. I agree with that.
of course, not all of them. I'm talking about the self haters. The
Mm.
self haters who like the Latinas and the Asians, and yeah. So I understand where they're coming from. So when they say that,
Yeah, because my thing is this, right? And when they came to when I listened to these black female comics, I don't know anything, but it feels like most of the anger and resentment they have uh towards the black male, the black males, is that they almost feel like black men pedestalize women who don't look like them.
mm,
It almost feels like, okay, if you guys were pushing black women, that was submissive, traditional, and you want us to be like that, I'll be fine. But it seems like anytime you talk about the women you want, they're either, ambiguous looking, white passing, stuff like that. And so they almost wonder, it's like, you're setting an impossible, like, do you even want black color, right? And my question, I guess, to you, now you say you're good colorism, right? Have
mm.
you ever felt in your life, right? Have you ever felt in your life that you almost had to do more compared to your black female counterparts?
My black female counterparts.
Sorry, compared to the non-black women.
Um. Well, when it comes to self image,
Yeah,
I've
well,
always.
let me for the question right. As
Mhm.
a black woman, right, have you
Mhm.
ever felt that when it came to dating, marrying, partnering, you felt like you were at a disadvantage compared to non-black women, especially when it came to black men? Has that ever
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, I did
Really?
feel. Yeah,
Okay.
I used to feel like that, because let's be honest, like when it comes to like dating and marrying, like black women, they tend to go through it a little harder,
Mm.
but I used to feel like that. Yes, not now, but I did used to feel like that. Yeah.
Okay, so why? What made you? Because I'm the reason I ask, because I hear this a lot, but I'm not a man. So, and I recognize that black men have their own issues, but they're not black women. So they're
Hmm.
not judged based on their beauty.
Hmm.
So a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna give an example, guys in the black male suit will say, "Oh, black women don't understand how we go." It's true, like they don't understand, but you also don't understand what they go through. So a lot
Right.
of the little things they'll go through as black females, you can't really see it. So I'm asking, like, what are the things that you personally like encountered that made you feel like this? I'm trying to better understand this.
Okay. Um. So, like me personally as a person, I don't like I remember a lot. I don't seem to forget that much, right? But I remember like a long time ago when I used to be like elementary school or even high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of black boys were unfortunately colorist. Like they,
Really?
yeah, it's just one of my friends. She's actually more darker skinned than me, and I witnessed her getting called like charcoal and tar baby.
Tar baby.
Yeah,
Wow.
because of her skin complexion, and it really took a toll on my like psyche. Like, oh my god, like are we really like ugly? Like, because I noticed that those same black boys will like literally compliment the non black girls from head to toe. Like, oh my god, she a baddie. Oh my god, she's so cute, so fine. But when it comes to
Mm.
but when it comes to the black girls, she like they're always like, ugh, like why your hair out like that? Like, are you gonna do something with that hair? Like it's just
Mm.
yeah. So it took a toll on my self esteem, but of course I don't have that same mentality anymore. If you're self hating, then go do you. But just don't talk down on your own. race to women because no other men do that.
Okay, because and this was so crazy, right? Well, when I used to hear these things a couple of years ago, I felt like the women were overblowing it. Like, they're just
Yeah.
what are they talking about? I
Hmm.
think what made me realize that it's somewhat true is when I started to hear black men and manosphere saying some things,
Mm.
right? I would hear. I'm gonna give you an example. I would hear Fantastic talk about how he prefers light skinned women. I say, why? He said, I just do. Out of his mouth. I would hear like I would literally see situations where right
Hmm.
dudes will complain about black women being combative and being feminist, but then I will see them be slapped by non-black women and they'll talk.
Right. Oh my god,
I
bro.
have seen this in real life.
Look.
I like I have literally, and by the way, I'm giving up right. I
Mhm.
have literally seen African men, black. I don't even know because my family's from West Africa too, right? I have seen black African men talk about, oh, these women out here, they don't want to submit, but then
Oh
he'll
my
be
god.
changing diapers for his non-black wife.
Wait. No, like I've witnessed this too many times, right? So like whenever like a black woman gets angry, right? Whether justifiably or non-justifiably so, right? Whenever she gets angry, like they're like, "Oh my god, like she's the angry black woman. Oh my god,
Yes,
like she be doing too much, right?" But whenever it comes to like I don't know, let's say a Latina, they're like, "Oh my god, she
she's
is
spicy.
so spicy,"
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
heard
like,
that.
"What? What?"
I've heard that. I've heard that a lot.
It's
Um,
not fair. Like,
it is not fair. But see, this was so crazy, you said, is that I came to realize that it puts black men in a bad position because other groups of people see this. I'm gonna give you an example. Have you heard of the YouTuber called Chem123?
Cam 1 2 3.
You
No.
can search him online. Chem one two
Okay.
three is a Hispanic Mexican male,
Mm.
and his entire channel is him complaining about black men fucking his women. That's literally his channel.
Yeah, non-black men get very threatened
That's what I'm
when it
saying.
comes
They
to.
don't like it at all.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is like they'll make it very clear. And it's like his entire argument is you guys talk about how pro-black you are, right? Because whenever the racist towards black men, right? Black men, so you guys are being racist, right? But he's
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a minute, how can you say we're racist when you don't even like your own woman?
Mm.
And like I remember, I'm like, how do you answer that, right? How can
Right.
you say that I'm anti-black while I'm racist towards black you way you guys don't even like your own women? If you like
Mm.
your women so much, why are you trying to fuck mine?
See, that's the thing, right? I truly believe, right, that if you're a pro-black person, because I'm pro-black, I love all black people, no matter where they're from, right? But I believe that you cannot be pro-black if you uh deal with someone outside your race. That's just how I feel.
Yeah,
You can
I agree
feel
with that.
differently. You can feel
And I
differently.
know black men are I know y'all going to ban the chat. I know it's fine. y'all, oh my god, hey, he's cool. I know y'all going to ban the chat, right? But that's
Oh
the
god.
truth. Like, here's the
Mm-hmm.
crazy part, right? I remember when I was because I'm currently when I'm in college majoring computer science, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a Hispanic female teacher,
Right.
and she got married to a black man from Congo, and I was so I said, what's wrong with these dudes? It's
Right.
like you'll have guys from black from Africa, and like the first thing they want to do is hop to white women or a non-black woman. It's crazy to me. But
Mm-mm.
see, this was so crazy. She would tell me how this guy was so nice, and he was cleaning diapers. He was. I said, this is what I said, man. These black women be telling some truth. They may be right because I know if this Congolese dude got married to a Congolese woman, he would not be doing
Mhm.
any of that.
Now
Because
I
you
I
already. So go ahead.
I'm sorry. I like when it comes to like the black women who say that black men are self-hating, right?
Mhm.
They generalize all black men, and I'm when I talk about self-hating black men, I'm talking about the self-hating black men because I
Yeah, we
know,
know that.
yeah, I don't like the only thing I don't like about people like Paris Milan and Cynthia G's their like hatred for black men and boys. Like that's what I don't that no, I don't agree with that at all. But when it comes to the self-hating part, yeah, a lot of brothers suffer from that. Like
Yeah, but see, look, a lot of that is over. I came to realize what it is. I had an epiphany. A
mhm,
lot of these women, it's really internal hurt. They're hurt.
Yeah, they're hurt. They're hurt.
And I
Yeah.
came to realize that because people were saying Paris Milan used to be like she used to be with O'Shea all the time.
Mm.
She used to be very invested in the black manosphere,
And
right?
Cynthia G
You
used to be against interracial dating.
Yeah. Same thing with Chrissy.
Mm.
Most the way I view it is that a lot of these women, and I've seen it, these are women who were like, naturally pro-black, right? But because they kept seeing, and this is true, I can deny this, they
Mm.
kept seeing no matter how much they will defend black
Mm.
men will constantly shit on them and talk about how better non-black women were.
Right.
And they will do this over and over again. And
Mm.
so eventually they just got hurt, and that's why they are where they are. And I'm seeing the same thing with the men too, where the resentment to because so many black women about how black men are shit, they take that, they become so extreme with that now they're outright talking, carrying anti-black talking points.
Mm.
Well, like both sides are getting to the extreme, and I call this shit out.
Yep, both sides. Mm. Both sides.
But I think for me, I have just taken the initiative to better understand. I feel like you
Mm.
know I have understood that. And I don't agree with everything they say, but there is some truth in what the women are saying
Mm.
that the men don't see.
Right.
Another thing that I think I heard them talk about, right, is
Mm.
this idea of the hair. Because there's something
Oh my
I know,
god.
because in the black male about the weave thing, but I came to realize that a lot of black women wear weave because if they don't, they'll fit discrimination in the workplace.
Mm. Yes, hair type discrimination. Yes.
Yeah, 4C. I didn't know that, right? I
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
know
know that
that.
either. I
So it's
think.
like, and I just saw this report about how 30 to 40% of black women get discriminated for wearing the natural hair. I said this explains the weave.
Mm.
So it's like, but see, once again, if you don't go out of your way to understand the other side,
Mm.
oh, why are they always wearing weave? Well, maybe it's because they get discriminated against for wearing the natural hair. And
And
let's
wait.
be honest here, how many of you guys really actually like 4C hair?
Mm.
Right? How
Mm.
many guys you do that?
No, like I have a short like story to tell, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like it's like one of my he's not necessarily my relative, but one of my close friends who is a male, right? He's kind of like these passport bros, you know. He thinks that
Oh,
he should go out and deal with these non-black women, right? So last time I
is
think he was
he
in
black African or?
yeah he Nigerian, yes.
I thought you black African, but like I don't know why. Go ahead.
He was in another state, I guess like New York or something, right? And he told me about this story, and he met this like Ethiopian chick, right? And he
Mhm.
really liked her, right? She showed me a picture of her, and she's actually a very beautiful woman, right? But all was going well until he met the family members. Oh my god, the family members did not like him at all, and I was like, why? And she was like, well, I mean, they don't want her to be with someone that looks like me. And I already knew what was about what he was about to say. Like, and a lot of like Ethiopians and like Horn Africans, like
Yeah, Horn of Africans. Yeah,
yeah, they don't deal with people that have the typical Bantu phenotype.
yeah, Negro phenotype. No.
Right, and I kept on and I told him that you do realize that Horn Africans, they don't really deal with people like you, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh no, that was not the reason." I'm like, "Okay, what was the reason?" He was like, and he can't even find a reason. I'm like, "Bro, just stop. Like, you know very well why her family members don't want to deal with you. Just
Mhm.
yeah." So yeah, he was really sad about that, but yeah, it's just mm,
Yeah, and it's like it's crazy because this ties back to the video I did about. Now you said you're a new subscriber. When did you subscribe? Actually, when did you actually join the channel?
like I don't know, 2 months ago or something.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember I recently had a live stream about I don't know if you saw it, it's about black Africans being attacked in Tunisia. You see that?
Yeah, I watched all your live streams actually. So
You watched all of it. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Now you saw how in that live stream you had the African brother Kifaru. Right? You
Mm-hmm.
saw that.
Yes.
And this dude is Cameroonian. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
brother, this is what I'm talking about, right? Is this conditioning I'm seeing for black people across the world? These North Africans, and Horn of Africans too, but we're gonna focus on North Africans, right? These North Africans have made it very clear. They don't identify with Black Africans. They make that
Bro,
very clear.
listen.
And yet you allowed them to join the African Union. But go ahead.
Bro, listen. As much as I have a gripe with like Horn Africans, I definitely can't stand North Africans. I'll be honest with you. I can't stand these people. Like, I don't like them. I really don't. Like they just their racism against Black people is on par with white people, bro. Like I just don't get it. Like if you were a Black person in general and you take a vacation to any North African country, you have to be very careful. Very careful, bro.
Yeah. But see, dude, these are the same people that treated Black Africans as slaves. You keep forgetting this. And so I was telling Kifar, I said, this is the reason why when I was on Kaizo's panel, I flamed you and these Black Africans, right? Even though my family, because I said, Pan-Africanism in itself really began with Black Americans here. I'm not a Black American. That's different. But it began with them, right? And essentially spread. It was about Black people and Black empowerment.
Yes.
The Black diaspora made it for Black folks. You Black Africans took it and you turned it into something that was not Black people, and you include North Africans.
Like,
Morocco tried to join the EU first. Before they joined the people keep forgetting that they've never wanted to be with y'all.
No.
The only reason why they aligned themselves with Black Africa because Europeans don't fuck with them. That's what it comes down to.
Of course.
Europeans make it very clear we don't accept you. So they deal with Black Africans up until they can get accepted by other groups. Then they'll say, y'all. Look at what happened with Morocco in the World Cup. They were Africa all up until the semifinals, right? When they were about to win, then they were Arabs.
As soon as Moroccans said that this was a win for the Arabs, I was embarrassed for Black people.
Yes,
I was embarrassed.
And you still have Black folks that better them too.
Like North Africans and like Horn Africans are like the Dominicans of Africa. Like they you know what I'm talking about, right? Like Dominicans, they be like, oh, I know Black. Horn Africans are the same, you know. And they're right, they're not Black. So, I mean, some Dominicans are, but the majority of them are like mestizo.
Yeah. Mixed. That's the reason why I've said it all the time, right? Pan-Africanism, and this is the reason why I think I said Black Africans are in a bad position when it comes to. And look, Kifaru, he was debating because a lot of Black Africans, especially the leadership, they view North Africa as better than them. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Okay. North Africa tends to be viewed as being more economically developed, closer to white. And because you view them as better than you, you're willing to tolerate abuse.
Right.
They can literally kill your people in Tunisia in front of the cameras, and y'all will still make excuses. But I bet you if you laid a hair on any one of them, they'll be quick to leave the African Union. Right. They won't even wait. They'll be quick.
They're only African when it benefits them.
Exactly, yeah. See, these are not the conversations Black men are having to Black males here. What they want to talk about is how they can fly to Thailand to fuck another man's wife, another man's woman. I mean,
no, like I don't think you know this, right? But there's this like Filipino woman on TikTok, right?
Yes, I know about her.
And she is always talking about Black women, and I'm like, girl, like what? And do you know what? I don't even blame her. Do you know who gave her the freedom to speak about Black women this way?
Black men.
No, not Black men, but the Manosphere Black men. They're the ones that gave her the freedom to talk all this BS. I'm like, girl, shut up. Like,
oh, we need our Black kings to come to the Philippines because the Philippines need our Black. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes. Like, oh my God.
And it's like, I remember when I was driving home and I saw so many Black males in that chat. And I was like, y'all, like, you guys are really gonna sit here and allow a Filipino chick
God
to disparage your female counterpart publicly like this? But you know what's so funny? If Black women were to allow a white dude to do this, y'all will flame them.
Right.
Y'all will be all angry, rightfully so. But you did it okay.
There.
You guys will call them bed wenches and white male worshipers.
Lord.
But y'all allow this. And the crazy part is one thing I do like about that Filipino chick, is that right? She said all of that, but then she had a recent video which said, look, if you're a black man who's actually born in the Philippines, you're treated like shit.
Yes.
So it's all.
So basically, these non-black women, they expose how black men are treated in these countries, but yet
Yeah.
niggas don't want to listen. They don't. They don't care. Like they will climb the highest mountain for a Filipina or a Latina.
It's
Like
crazy. And the crazy part is they will do more. Look, dude, the amount of time here that you're from West Africa, right? Your family's from West Africa, right?
yeah,
You know how, especially in West Africa, especially African men, very patriarchal, have a lot of demands for the women, right?
right.
She needs to be cooked, but it's fine. But
Yeah,
haven't you have noticed, right? They will have all these demands for the black female counterpart, but I will see them like be like doing more for non-black women. They'll be
they
cooking, cleaning.
bro.
It's
They
like,
have look.
dude,
They have all these standards, right, for black
yes,
women, and there's nothing wrong with standards per se, right? But my problem is that they have all these standards for us, right? But they would get with a freaking manatee simply because she's white, like I don't know what they call those animals, but manatee or whatever, like just they begin with the most like just ugliest, just low down female just because she's not black. But yet, when it comes to us, it's like, oh, you gotta be submissive and cook and clean. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I'm just saying, have the same expectations for these other women, but you don't.
yeah, but I think for me, I can understand, Black America because of the unique situation,
Mm-hmm.
but to see African men, especially how I know how demanded they are to the female counterpart, and to see, do you know how many times I've seen in real life of
Mm.
an African dude with a Hispanic wife? He'll be cooking, he'll be cleaning, he'll be changing. I was like, dude, you would never do this if you were married to an African woman.
Right.
So why are you doing this with this Hispanic? It's like, and this is what gets me angry. Cause like I realize, I'm like, it's not every guy. I'm like, right, I'm not, but there are dudes who do that. There are guys who do that. So
Mm.
it's just, I don't know. And I think Okua. Let me ask you a question, right? Why is it that I always want to ask a black woman this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that okay? How do black women feel
Mm-hmm.
when they see successful black men?
Mm-hmm.
Because look, one thing I hear a lot, and I'm like, look, I'm a nerdy guy, so who knows? But there's
Nothing
this
wrong
thing
with being
about,
nerdy.
yeah, but there's this thing about how nerdy black men and successful black men,
Mm-hmm.
they have this thing where when they get successful,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, you guys one of the bad boys, so we're gonna go
Right.
with the not. How do black women, I guess, you
Mm-hmm.
feel when you see a successful black dude
Uh-huh.
with a non-black woman? And then he's like, "Oh, it's because y'all didn't want me when I was corny." Like,
A lot of us feel a bit of hurt and betrayal
hurt and betrayal.
because for example a lot of these NBA players, right? I swear to God, all of them are with the Snow Bunnies.
I don't think all of them, but
not all of them. I think LeBron James is with a black woman.
even the black women. It's not all of them, but
Right,
there's a
but
lot.
right. A lot of us feel a little of hurt and betrayal
Mm.
because when those black men say, "Oh yeah, y'all used to reject me back in the fifth grade or something like that," right? I'm like,
Mhm.
bro, it's not all of us that were doing that. Like, you're telling me that no non-black girl rejected you? Like, you're generalizing all of us. Like, it's just like we do be feeling hurt. We don't say it, but yeah, we do
Mm.
feel a little betrayed.
Lord, because I think when I listen to Cynthia G's comments,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know guys get triggered, but it's fine. But
I get triggered too. I mean,
yeah,
she
but
be
when
going
you
way too far, you know.
yeah, but when you listen to a comment, almost all of her videos are about black men dating out. If you've noticed
Right,
this.
right.
So it tells me that a lot of the commentary she has, and a lot of the ones who write, it's almost as if a lot of them have this hurt when they see black men with non-black, especially if the men are successful.
Yes.
And I've had this thing where all of this vitriol comes from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a lot of them, they there's this feeling of, irregardless of the issues that you may have had with black women growing up, at the end of the day, they are still your female counterpart in many
Right.
ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you should, the expectation is that you should at least try more, right? Or give them, I don't want to say them more, but in other words, it feels like you were so quick to dismiss your female counterpart. That's how it
Right.
feels like. And I
Right.
think for black women, you can tell me if I'm wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up in the United States, they view, the society tells them that they're the least attractive.
Right.
Society tells them that they have darker skin, so nobody wants them. Society tells them that, because of the 4C hair, that's not good enough compared to the straight hair that these non-black women have. So it's like everywhere they look, they see non-black women being portrayed as lesbians, especially white women, right?
Right.
And so if you're being told your whole life that you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're ratchet, you're ghetto, you're this, you're that, you're not even female, you're strong, right? Right? I'm talking about strong black woman, right? In fact, I remember there was this recent show on this recent dating show. I think Paradise Island. I don't know if you know about this, right? Paradise Island, in which even on the panel, even on the shows, the black male contestants did not want black women. I mean,
Nope.
this is how bad it is. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're a black female and like everyone is telling you they don't want you, you at
Mm-hmm.
least expect that your male counterpart will want you too. At least, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. White men don't want me. Fine. Hispanic don't want me. Fine. Asian don't, right? But
Mm-hmm.
at least the black man, right? The person who's my brother, father,
Mm-hmm.
should want me. And when they say they don't want you, the hurt is, I think that's what drives the emotions.
Right. And actually, I gotta say this right, but I think a lot of people know this actor. It's this like Nigerian British actor who came out and said that he only likes black women.
Oh,
What's his
John
name?
Boyega.
Yeah, yeah, him, right. And
Man,
a
they
lot
love
of
that.
right, right, and a lot of white women were very mad,
Yes, I
right?
remember that.
And I feel like part of the reason why they're mad, because I mean, well, they're always hating, but another reason why they're mad is because I think this is one of the first times where a black man
Yes.
has come out and actually declared his love
Yeah,
for his
for black people.
own, you know? Yeah, so I actually appreciate the guy for that, but I was very surprised myself. I'm like, wow, really? Wow, I never,
And bro, I'm gonna tell you something right now, right? And I'm happy with that too. The amount of love and I saw it. The
Mhm.
amount of love and support John Boyega got from black women. I have
Right,
never seen that many black women across the world, from America, Caribbean, all across the world, support a black dude.
right,
They were in his comment sections. This dude could have a whole 9 wives if he wanted to, with the amount of love he was getting. It was great.
right.
But I say, but I believe that I say, the reason why these women are just so happy and just so elated is because they're not used to that, right?
Yes.
They're not
Mhm.
used to a women they're so used to other groups of men down that when a male counterpart, a successful black man by that,
Yep.
John Boyega, says that he's only gonna date black women, not that he prefer, he's only gonna date black women.
Mhm.
Like wow, oh my god. And I
Right.
think white women, let's keep it real, white women view black men as an easy way out. Meaning that if I can make it in the white community, there's always a black dude waiting for me. Let's
No,
keep it real.
no, like one of my friends, right?
Mhm.
Because I have come across a lot of black dudes that only like white females, right? And in my head, right, I'm like, do these niggas only realize that the only reason why she's dating you is to piss her family off?
Yes. Oh, uh
Like,
oh.
hey, I'm just saying.
That's true. That's the truth. That's the
Like,
truth.
it's an act of rebellion, if you could call
Rebellion.
that.
Yeah.
You know, and when I tell them that, they're like, actually no, like it's about real love. It doesn't
Real.
matter.
girl, look. I knew that it was about rebellion because I remember right, when I was working at UPS, there was a black dude, a black Cameroonian guy, right? And he was dealing with his white girl. The white girl would bring him to her parents' bedroom and would have
Right.
sex with him on her parents' bed. And her father knew about this. And it wasn't until later on he realized, he told me this, right? He realized that she was only dealing with him to get her father.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I've been telling black, look, a lot of these non-black, look, if they can get a man from their own community that's successful, they'll prefer that. The
Right.
only time they deal with you is because they think they know you will do more for them, right? If you're to
Mhm.
piss off the family, but very few times because of love.
Right. Right. Especially when a lot of these dudes say, "Oh, it's just a preference, right?" And I'm like, listen, real preferences exist, but most of these preferences that you have are because of self hate.
Yep.
Like she's only with you to piss her father off. Like I don't understand why some of these people don't get that. She's trying to make her family angry. She's trying to rebel. Like God.
She's going through a phase because of, don't be fooled. They'll date with you for, I've seen it too. They'll date with a black dude for a while, and then when the time comes, marries
Mm,
the white guy and moves somewhere else. I've seen it multiple times. I don't
right.
understand what happened. What happened was you were just dick. That's what happened. You were just dick. She wanted to experiment with you, and I've seen this so many times, right?
It,
They'll date with you. Like even in my own personal life. I remember when I was in a room, right,
mm-hmm,
and I was surrounded by Hispanic women
mm-hmm,
recently too, and they were talking about how the men are possessive, the machismo. When I say possessive, man, this is what I'm talking about, right?
mm-hmm,
A lot of these Hispanic women are talking about the issues that was in their community, right?
mm-hmm,
And many of them are dating black men. Now,
mm-hmm.
how many of those black guys know that she's only dealing with you because she has issues with her own men? It's
Right.
not love.
Not love, bro. And
It's go ahead.
what a lot of these manosphere don't seem to understand, right, is that you see, this is one thing I actually respect about. This is one thing I respect about non-blacks, right? Is that these manosphere they don't understand that it's all fun and games until you make that woman angry or upset.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's all fun and games until she accuses you of
Yeah.
assault, right? And when she does that, her own men will come to her rescue and will remind you of your place.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what they seem to forget. That's actually one thing I respect about non-blacks, right? Is that they always come to and protect their own, right? But
Well, it does not, but that depends. Now, hear
yeah,
me
that
right.
depends. That depends.
Here's a guy called Devin Wright, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he called just a white guy, calling her mud shark, right? So for a lot of these non-black men, they will do that sometimes, but a lot of times if they think that she don't, that she went to that other community, they'll say, well, that's what you get for dealing with those blacks.
Okay.
Don't tell her that.
Wait, is that Devin guy calling Pearl black?
Okay. Pearl is a white woman, right? And she had a black boyfriend.
Yeah, I know
White
her.
guys do not like that.
Mhm.
In fact, I don't know if you noticed, the manosphere used to be one. The black men separated and made those people because white men hated the fact that black men kept talking about fucking white women.
Mhm.
So y'all realize you couldn't talk about Becky within amongst white male space because they'll flame you. So you had to go and make your own black space to worship Becky.
Right.
And whenever a white woman is with a black dude, that she gets tagged as a mud shark. Oh, she deals with the blacks. That's what it means.
Oh my god.
Derogatory term. Because I've been to white male, so I know how they talk.
Mhm.
Mud shark. If you ever see a white guy call a white girl a mud shark, that means that she she deals with the blacks, so don't touch her.
Oh.
She
Now I
got with a
see.
black dude. Don't touch her. Even if she broke up with that guy and she's no right, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You touch them once, you ain't come back.
Listen, I promise you. Even though after what that Pearl woman said about, I don't know, what did she say, bro?
She talked about how black people are late, the blacks. She called black
Right.
Africans my African. She talked
What?
about how slavery, was not a big deal, and to get over that, she brought on Nick Fuentes, a white supremacist, and agreed with many of
Wow.
his talking points.
Hmm.
It's just,
And I promise you, after all that, these Manosphere people will not have their eyes
dude,
open.
I wish I could say that was wrong, but you still have guys. It broke my heart today when I was going through YouTube. Now, there's a lot of guys who are calling it out, right? Shout out to
Hmm.
them, like Oshi and
Yes.
them.
Yes.
But the crazy part is, you still have a small percentage of dudes that actually are born to defend her. You still have that. Are you
Oh
serious?
my god.
After she literally brought a white supremacist on her panel, and you still got dudes defend. Oh,
Like
that's
the
when I realized that,
like
man.
we give these people so much freedom to speak on our issues. What is she doing there? She shouldn't even have the voice to even speak on our issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but we give her that freedom. Like, I can't even blame them for taking advantage of us because we're the ones that allowed them to do it.
Mm. Yeah.
Like,
And you know what's so funny, Aku Abang, is that I would hear so many black women talk about, black men and colorism. I was like, what are they talking about? But I
mm,
remember one day I said, I kept noticing how, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I kept noticing how, for some reason, I always seemed to. It felt like white women or non-black women were always like being pushed to me, and I
mm,
noticed that a lot too growing up.
right,
I was seeing this a lot in the media because when I was growing up, like I couldn't see a black person.
right.
However, when I was a kid, though, I did have a crush on this black girl called China. I don't even know who she is. China McClain.
Hmm.
She was the, who he is,
Oh yes, yes, I know her. Yeah.
and Farm Disney Channel.
Yes, yes, Disney Channel. I
I
see her a
swear to
lot.
God, she was the first black woman I actually liked.
Right.
Before then, I was going to an all white school because I was living in a white neighborhood. These are wealthy, like, upper class white people. I was surrounded by white people.
Hmm.
Most of the movies I was watching were white. The school I was going to was mostly white. So it's like, all I was that. And so everywhere I
Mm.
was going, what was being told to me as a black boy is, this is what you need to go after, right? You need to go after white women.
Right. This is the standard of
Yeah, the
beauty.
status symbol. That's what the white boys would tell me. The white everything
Hmm.
was telling me, and the media reinforced it.
Hmm.
But something inside me, it felt weird to me, like inside me. I think it
Mm.
wasn't until I was watching the show and the show End Form came on, and I swear to God, that was the first time I saw a young, beautiful black woman on my television screen. I swear to
Hmm.
God. Before then, it was just white or Hispanic, white Hispanic.
Wow.
Those are not.
Mm.
And I remember I fell so hard, but I can't. I always wondered why. I said, and I believe the reason is because up until then, I had never really seen a good-looking black female on television because it was all white women.
Mm. They do
The
that
only
on
thing
purpose.
ever was either is her being Will or Manny.
They do that on purpose.
Yeah. And so I was like, man, I realized, and also when I was in college, and I remember this situation where there was a black female. I think she was Caribbean.
Hmm.
And I remember she was so nice and soft to me, and it felt so good. And then, of course, you had, she was around this white Hispanic girl, and the white Hispanic girl would constantly denigrate her in front of everyone. And I
Wow.
remember this. So you can tell, okay, you have this white Hispanic chick, right? She's viewed as the most beautiful in the college, right? And you
Hmm.
have this black Caribbean girl. She's equally attractive. But you can tell she hangs out with this white girl because she's viewed as the most beautiful white one, right? And the white girl will constantly like disparage her publicly. Oh, my people are not thugs. Like publicly too. And I felt, and it's like I remember there was a time where I wanted to go in the like, and I said, who the fuck are you talking to this girl like this? Talking about her people and thugs. Like, what? And she was so nice and everything. I said, you know what? And that's when I came to realize that, black men have their issues we face, But black women, they go to something very different. The issue they go through is entirely tied to their beauty. Black men, the issue they face economics, right? Them being, not being from the family, not having the power. The issue black women face, however, is that they're not viewed as beautiful. Society downplays their beauty, right? It feels like non-black women want to like literally view themselves better. So let me ask you this anyway. I'm not about to go on, but let me ask you this one last thing before we head out.
Okay.
Do you feel like non-black women view themselves as better than the average black female?
Yes, wholeheartedly, yes.
Hmm. Okay.
But when their confidence, right? Non-black women's confidence often comes from a place of insecurity and jealousy. Okay,
Hmm.
that's why they get so threatened when they see a black woman that they know is more superior than them, right? But due to this white supremacist system, they have deluded themselves into thinking that I have to be better than her because
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, because white supremacy has put in their minds that whiter is right, because in this world, right, it's white on top, non-black people of color in the middle, and black people at the very bottom. So, that's why when people bring up this whole oppression Olympics, I'm like, girl, black people are going to win the oppression Olympics every single time
Mhm.
because we get treated worse. I'm sorry, we do.
Yeah.
We treated worse.
And,
Yeah.
and so, but I guess because I guess my opinion is this, right? If black women know that these non-black women view themselves better than them, then why do you guys constantly align with them? That's the issue I'm more concerned about.
Because unfortunately, not only do non-black women view themselves as better, right?
Mhm.
Black women, a lot of us also view them as better.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Because black people in general, we look up to non-blacks while non-blacks look down on us.
Mm.
Why do you think we're so quick to accept biracials? Because
Oh, uh-oh. That's another conversation. That's another conversation.
I
But
mean, it's
wait.
just why do you think we're so pressed to, say mixed people are black? Like a mixed person, right? Like Andrew Tate, right? I thought he was a white man.
Yeah. White
Right?
passing.
A lot of mixed people, not most mixed people are not really white passing, but some are, right? But yet we always have that one black person that will fight tooth and nail to say, well, they have black in them, so we have to accept them as black, right? And the reason for that is because we view them as better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why black women, align themselves with. We view them
Mm.
as better.
Now, I have always had this hypothesis, and I want you to tell me if it's true.
Hmm.
I've always suspected that black women see the privileges that non-black women get, right?
Hmm.
Obviously, within their communities, the men have more. We know that, right? It's obvious.
Right.
But however, the women do have their own too because not black,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They're promoted more. They're
Hmm.
portrayed as more submissive, even though
Yes.
a lot of them are really not. They're
Yeah.
viewed as standard of beauty, and
Hmm.
so because of all of these things,
Hmm.
black women are like, okay, me and my group of men are at the bottom. I
Hmm.
don't we're not gonna get us anytime soon. I don't believe black men can give me those privileges. So
Right.
maybe if I somehow this female hood with these non-black women,
Hmm.
maybe some of the privilege will rub off me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, your so-called theory is actually confirmed because I was actually looking at this like it was a post on like Lipstick Alley. I don't even think you know that, but
Yeah, I
I
know this already. I
really.
know this.
Yeah, so I was looking at this divester forum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this woman, this black woman, was explaining why she don't deal with black men, right? And she literally said, "Why would I deal with a race of men that is poor economically, financially, emotionally?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's why y'all divest. That's another reason why y'all divest, because y'all feel like if I date someone that don't look like me, the privilege will, you
Yeah.
know, come to
Yeah.
me. That's why." So yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yes.
Yeah, Cowboys. Look, and to be honest, I kind of understand where they're coming from. Because let's be honest, you ladies watching the chat, a lot of feminists in the chat. It doesn't matter if you're a feminist or anti-feminist, ladies. When it comes to power, this is consistent. The privileges of what a group of women get is based on the position that the men are. I keep telling them this.
Yeah.
So if you are in a community in which your male counterpart, right, has a higher position, you will have more privileges. But if you're in a community where your male counterpart has a lower position, guess what? You have less privileges.
Mm.
So when it comes on these black women, right, I understand why for them they don't believe that black men can get a same privilege than the other class, and so they try to attach them to non-black women. But here's the thing: all the privileges they get come from their men. It comes from the position their men are in, and they don't want to share that with you. That's the
Mm.
reason why when Stacey Abrams ran in Georgia, right, she
Mm.
thought she was gonna be on this feminist empowerment thing.
Mm.
Most white women voted for who? Brian Kemp.
Yep.
They voted for the white male.
Mm.
They told Stacey Abrams, we're together, sister, women first. And then when she ran, they voted for the white
Right.
dude.
Now, listen, since I'm a female, right?
Mhm.
I of course I believe in women's right all over the globe, right? But it's different with black women though. Because a lot of black women, right? They a lot of us, I used to feel that same way as well, I'll be honest with you. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, women, let's unite, sisterhood, let's unite, right? But then I looked closer into it, and I noticed that these non-black women, they don't give a damn about us. They don't care about us. Like they're like, nigga, who are you? Like trying to unite with us.
Yeah.
Like mm,
Yeah, but see, even when it comes to feminism, a lot of that is it's an environmental reaction. So
mhm.
if you look at, for example, Cameroon or West African nations, right,
Right.
most of those people still live in farms, and
Yes.
so because of this, the women are more domestic, the men are working out more.
Hmm.
But when a society industrializes, the men are not on the farms anymore, right?
Yes.
The women now have to go and work in order to grow the economy.
Hmm.
So, a lot of this stuff, like women's changing position is largely due to the changing environment. So you no longer live in a greater society anymore. So if you're China and you're trying to industrialize, you have to put the women in the workplace in order to grow your economy.
Hmm.
That's the reality. And that
Right.
would also mean, I told guys, that also mean that, yeah, patriarchal privilege will still be involved over time. Now,
Right.
you can be against that, that's fine, but
Hmm.
that's a natural effect. But I
Yeah.
recognize that's not the women per se, that's just an effect of the changing environment. That's all it
Hmm.
is.
Right.
So that's the reason why when you go to societies like Afghanistan, where they're still medieval in many ways, they still
Yeah.
operate that way because that's the environment
Hmm.
they're in. But if
Right.
Afghanistan were to start to develop and start having buildings and
Hmm.
factories and jobs, the
Hmm.
model will change because it has to,
Hmm.
right? But I
Yeah.
think my problem is that you can have your disagreement with your women
Hmm.
while respecting your community, and that's the
Right.
issue. I'm not saying, look, guys, look, black women can have the issues with black men. Black men can have, we can have our own issues, we can have our debates. We'll probably have more debates later on this channel. Who knows?
Right. For
But
example,
yeah, go ahead.
like let's say let's talk about like it's short, but like diaspora wars for a second, right?
Yes.
Let's say I'm arguing, right? I don't know, with a Gambian, right? We insult each other, like just being silly, right? We just arguing with each other, right? I promise you, if a non-black person gets into the mix, I will stop arguing with that
Yeah.
Gambian and team up with him or her against
Yeah.
that non-black person.
And that's what yep, and that's my worldview. That doesn't mean you have to agree with everything,
Of
but
course,
you
no,
have to
no.
respect your own people.
Yes.
That's my own thing.
Yep.
But with that being said, I'm about to go.
All right.
Thank you, Akua
Thank you.
Obeng. I
Thank you for
appreciate
bringing me
it.
on.
All right, have a good day.
Have a good day.
Okay, guys, that was a great live stream. Make sure you guys like and subscribe the video. I have not been able to upload a lot. I really have not. Let's keep it real. I've been busy. Hopefully, when the summer comes, I'll be able to do much more uploads and be able to invest more into the production. But as of now, I'm just not able to do that. But anyway, y'all, thank you for coming in. And with that being said, let me see here. Said, hammer out.